So with just under 6 weeks to go, it's really quite useful that the sun has come out this week. The forecast 6 weeks looks really quite nice. So getting a good bit of warm weather training in will be good for me, because it won't be such a shock hopefully on race day, because I'm fully aware that it will be warm on race day in Leeds. If anything, it might actually be warmer than Valencia, than where I got this vest from. So yeah, it's the 1st of April tomorrow, and the world is warming up. Not only a true statement, but also a political one as well. So got a recovery run after yesterday's 26k Sunday long run. So today's just a nice recovery run with Daisy, and we are taking it easy. And this is going to be about 11k, 12k ish. But yeah, so just pleased to be out really. Nice to run in this weather. And we've got Tuesday and Thursday sessions planned this week as well. This way, good girl. So that's how it's going to look. And we're in peak week as well, the start of the peak weeks. So the volume's going to go up, not quite as high as I thought it was going to be. I had a bit of illness the week before last. That set me back slightly, so I don't think I'm quite going to be running the miles I thought I would, which is not a problem, because I don't want to sort of overtrain and really tire myself out. So yeah, peak week 1 of 3. Let's go. Well, this is a bit more like it. These light spring evenings are back, and instead of training on the roads tonight or in the car park where we usually train, club night tonight is actually on the grass. So it's been my first ever grass session tonight. Hopefully it'll be firm, because I've got my Takumi Sense on, not my trail shoes. So yeah, let's go and see what tonight's all about. I think it's 600s or 800s tonight. Whatever happens, it's not going to be easy. It's always tricky at club night, but I'm yeah, ready to go and work hard. So let's go and meet the rest of the runners. Here he is. How are you, mate? I was just saying, I think it's going to be, they're never easy, these club sessions, are they? Yeah, so we're on the grass apparently for the first time this season, so hopefully it'll be firm enough to not fall over. What have you got on your feet today, Bev?
Speed 4s.
Speed 4s. Solid joist.
800k.
Nice. Same as mine. My Takumi Sen 8s have got about 800k in them. 8th and final rep, running on the grass. Hard. It's really hard. It's so hard that Murph took his top off. So last night's session with Worcester AC was pretty intense, even though I didn't run, really fast. I think the grass really did take it out of me. The effort levels were higher, even though the pace was a bit cooler. But I'm trying to run every day during these 3 weeks of my peak of this marathon training block. Now that's not for everybody, I know, but I do quite like to run every day during my peak. And I've been running minimum 5 days. I think 5 minimum for this training block. Maybe 1 week I've done 4, but the majority have been 5 and 6. So running every day is not really massively alien to me. I don't mind running every day as long as the effort levels are fairly low for, I don't know, at least 3 of those days. But this one, as you know, I love my Hilly runs with Daisy once a week. So here we are up in the Malverns, and we did a 10k. I think it was just about 10 kilometers. Went a slightly different route that we wouldn't normally go, just to mix things up. And it was a great morning because we've had this massive sort of area of high pressure around the UK at the moment, which means all these mornings are really nice and sunny. So there's Daisy just doing a wee. But when you run with a dog, you've got to let them, you can't just selfishly run to your own pace. You've got to let them sniff, and if they want to stop, you've got to let them stop. But on the whole, Daisy is a really good running partner. She does love to run. But yeah, amazing surroundings. I love running at the Malverns. Absolutely love getting my weekly hill runs in. And as you probably know, over the last 2 years, I've been doing this once a week. And who knows, maybe in the future there'll be more, maybe twice a week one day. Well, who knows, maybe even more than that, maybe 2-3 times. But for now, once a week up the Malverns is enough. And the good thing is about taking Daisy up the hills is that I can let her go, I can let her off, because the sections with the livestock are all fenced in with the electric fences, and we found out the hard way. Daisy's been, she's felt the electric current a couple of times when she's gotten a little bit too curious of the electric fence. But the good thing is about this part of British Camp and Millennium Hill is that we can just, I can just let her have a good run, and she does run off quite far, but she always comes back, which is great. So yeah, we're heading down. Instead, that path that's running adjacent to us now, that's the upper reservoir path that you'll see me running along so often. But what we decided to do today was to just go below it, to go right down to the reservoir level, and then to come up so we get some more elevation in the legs. Because hills, as you know, as you hear me say week in, week out, hills pay the bills, baby. So now we're at the second of 2 sessions with Club this week, and this is a track session, and this was really hard. I actually saw on paper that it was a pyramid session, and I saw the distances, which was from 200 up to 1,000, then back again. I thought it doesn't sound too bad. It's going to be fine, isn't it? No, it wasn't fine. I'm actually really proud of myself for not going off too fast, because the idea of this session was to pick a pace, stick to a pace, and see if you can, not change that pace, and just hold the effort steady throughout the night. And it was a lot harder than I thought. Pyramid session, everything around about 356 a k. Man, spicy. Woo. So after another spicy Szechuan last night, it's time for some more recovery. And I just thought, why don't we just run on the trail today? Because I was going to take Daisy for a walk, and this is the dog walk that I normally do. And I just thought, we'll just run that, because no joke, only the last 2 weeks, when it's been a lot drier, 3 weeks, this trail was just unwalkable. But you needed wellies because it was just so sloppy, such a mud fest. But now it's all hardened up a bit. It's a lot easier underfoot. And then Saturday comes. Will we do parkrun nice and easy? Nah, what's the point in that? Where's the fun in that? So as you can see, this guy going off like a rocket. I decided not to go with him because he looks like he's going to run a parkrun in about 4 minutes. But I had got plans of my own. I really wanted to try and get into the top 5. And this parkrun here, which is in Wales, called Hay-on-Wye, it's only a few metres over the border from Herefordshire, but it's Wales, so it was a really good away day. I tried to get in the top 5, and I'm looking forward to showing you all this video, which is coming up soon. Well, it's a bit colder than I thought it was going to be this morning, so hopefully as soon as I get running, I'll get warmed up. But I'm going to try and do my longest long run of the block today. Hopefully, if the route I've planned is correct, it should be about 30k. Half of that is unknown roads, so hopefully I don't get lost, but I think I know the way. And I'm going to put 2 reducers in. I'm going to put 2 spicy hills in. One's a familiar one called Black House Lane, which I've done before, and another one which is part of the Worcestershire Way, which is called Ahhh Hill, which will be quite a nasty one. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to try and keep the pace steady as always on my Sunday long runs, but I'm going to increase that pace. So I'm going to try and head closer to 5 minutes a K. I'm going to start easy and probably finish easy, but I'm going to put the majority of the pace around 5 minute Ks, 8 minute miling sort of thing, which is still 30 seconds almost slower per kilometre than race pace. But I'm just thinking about my weekly, week to week, day to day even running, and I just don't want to blow up now. So first peak week almost done. Second and third peak week long runs will have some marathon pace in it, a little bit. But as for today, it's just all about getting that distance in. I haven't run 30k since Valencia, so on the roads anyway. So yeah, I think it's time for less talking and more running. So let's go. So 7 kilometres in, I'm just about to do the first big hill, which is called Black House Lane, and it is a beast. I'm trying to run 5 minute Ks, running to average pace, and the beauty of that is, yes, the hills will slow me down, but I can make a bit of time back up on the flat and the downhills, and hopefully that will just help my kind of race day practice of looking at average pace and knowing that I need to hit those 440s, well, 440 a kilometre across the whole of the marathon. But today the target's 5 minutes a K. It's already feeling tough, so come on, let's get up this hill. That was horrific. I'm going to have a rest at the top. Always horrific. Always horrific. 45 minutes done so far. Wow, that hill really takes it out of you. Look where we are. Good old Worcestershire Way. Goes up there. Comes from that way. A path that I've done many times. And this part of the world really is quite a nice part of the world. We'll get ready for the next one, which is called Ahhh Hill, which is probably in about 5k. Then after that, they're the only 2 hills I put in. The rest of it's undulating, but they're not big uns like these. Oh, well, this has warmed me up on a cold Sunday morning. Black House Lane, you don't need your jumper, leave it at home. Just get up Black House Lane. Well, here's my next target. Ahhh Hill, straight up there. Always a good sign. $17% should be fine. Should be fine. Oh, this is dreadful. This is dreadful. That's Anchordine Hill done, and it seemed like it was lasting forever, but nothing lasts forever in this game. There's always an end to the hard work. Now I can just recover. Well, I say that, I feel like I'm dying, you know what I mean. So this is today's reward for climbing this second hill. This is Anchordine Hill, and this is my view. So there's the Malverns over there, Breeden Hill in between these hills. That's the Cotswolds over there, so sort of Cheltenham, Gloucester direction. And over here we've got Worcester around here somewhere, and then Droitwich is over there. Now the route that I'm doing, I live just over those, in between, just to the left of those bumpy bits, just this side of the Malverns. So I've come up those hills, up this way and up this hill. Then I'm obviously going to be going this way and then doing a big circle round back onto that flat bit, which I hope looks flat. I'm sure it's not, I'm sure it's undulating. And then back to home, which is around there. So that's today's plan. I think it's going to be around about 30k, which would probably be about 18 miles. And yeah, that's the review. This view right now is the reward for climbing that hill. Well, you know, when I was on top of that hill and I was really hoping for a nice flat section, well, it really delivered. The last 12k has just been blissful, and it's really allowed me to get into a good steady stride, a nice pace. On top of that hill, my average pace was about 5:23 a k, which is probably slower than the 4k of warm-up I did. And now I've brought it down to 5:09. Okay, so that tells me that I may have even been running faster than 5-minute Ks to compensate. So yeah, this has been a good run, and we're not too far from the end. I've just lapped the watch for the third and final time today, and I'm just doing 2 kilometers now, nice and easy to finish. So in total it was 4k easy to start, then 24k steady, and then it'll be 2k to finish, and we'll keep running until we get to 30k, and then I'm going to take Daisy out for a nice recovery walk, and I can't wait to stretch my legs because they feel heavy. Well, after a nice recovery walk with Daisy and just a lot of chilling, I feel good. I feel alright. It's nice to get a 30k run in the bank. I mean, some people would, will only do a 2.5 hour run, and that's all they need, no matter how far they get. Some people will do a 35k or 38k or 23 miles, whatever. And each to their own. And next week and the week after, I still don't know how far I'm going to run, because as you know, I don't really follow a plan. I just know, the sessions I need to do, and I know the volume that I want, and I just basically fill in the gaps accordingly. So next week, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Hopefully it'll be something similar to this, what I've done today. Maybe slightly flatter, so I can get a bit of, actually do a bit of pace work. Quite pleased with the steadiness of the pace. Obviously the hills, kind of slowed me down. But all in all, pretty pleased with today's run. It was 428 metres of elevation, so really quite a bumpy run. And considering that I did Valencia Marathon, and that was 42k, and it had an elevation of about 80 metres. This had 428 in 30. So it's always really good, I think, to train on hilly routes. And that's the end of a good week. Really solid week, I think. Got some good quality sessions in Tuesday, Thursday. Done lots of nice easy stuff in between. Obviously got a good long run in today, and yesterday's park run. They haven't even talked about that. Was a bit of fun, and yeah, was quite pleasantly surprised about how well that went. But I'm going to be doing a separate video on that after this one's come out, as it was a bit of a park race scenario. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.
It's on, Andy!